One of the things I've noticed about researching rum and other cocktails for this channel is there's an awful lot of cocktails I've never heard of before. So that gave me an idea. Why not profile different cocktails that have been lost to history or just obscure that nobody knows about anymore? So today we're going to start off with our first lost cocktail, the Test Pilot. Roll music. Welcome back. Like I said earlier, we're going to look at lost cocktails, and today we're going to look at the Test Pilot. The Test Pilot is an interesting cocktail that was developed in 1941 by Don the Beachcomber. It uses some interesting ingredients, some that are kind of hard to find. If I couldn't find one of them, I had to actually make it myself. Fortunately, there were some recipes online for it. Also, a couple other things I noticed that when I was researching the Test Pilot is I had bought a book on Don the Beachcomber recipes, and I noticed that they were different from what I found online. Some interesting articles online with the recipes listed on there. The one in the book, I think what happened was the author basically adjusted the recipes to get rid of some of the ingredients that were harder to find and replace them with things that are more readily available to a normal person in a grocery store or a liquor store. But that's not authentic enough to me. I want to try to make it as much as I can, as close to the way Don wanted it to be. So I'm going with the recipe that was online. It uses some, like I said, some interesting ingredients. One of them called falernum, and that is a spicy almond flavored syrup, almost like a spicy orgeat. It is hard to find. In fact, I could not find it in the liquor store. I had to make it myself. I used the recipe I found online. It was pretty easy. It only took maybe half an hour of actual time. The rest of the time was just letting it sit around and steep. But so that's it. We're going to get into the Test Pilot. I'm going to bring out all the ingredients and we're going to get started. See you in a second. So here we are. All of our ingredients are laid out on the table. Some of them, like I said, are interesting, but we're going to start off with Appleton Estate 8-year-old Jamaican dark rum. We have a light rum here. This is Cruisin' light rum. I have a bottle of Cointreau. This is the interesting ingredient. This is falernum that I had to make myself. Lime juice, Angostura bitters, and the secret ingredient, absinthe, the Green Fairy. I typically don't use a lot of absinthe, so I just picked up a little bottle. This bottle is from Oregon Spirit Distillers. It's probably one of the better absinthes I've tasted. It's not bad. And of course, just Angostura bitters. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, this is a blended drink, so we're going to use a blender this time. And so let's jump right into it. Let me move some of this around. Bring out the blender, or rather the blender cup. Put some ice in there. Not a lot of ice. It's just about a cup of ice. Pop that over there. All right, so for the actual liquid, we're going to do half an ounce of lime juice. Here's the lime juice. There. Then we're going to do half of an ounce of our falernum. And again, interesting flavor profile there. So you can kind of get the almond flavor. There's cloves. There's a little bit of ginger in there. A lot of lime in it as well. All right, moving on. We're going to do half an ounce of the Cointreau. Pop that right in there. Cap it off. Now we're moving over to our rums. We're going to do 1.5 ounces of our Appleton Estate Jamaican rum. And that's what this entire side of the measure is 1.5 ounces. Pop it in there. Make sure we don't spill. And we are going to take three-quarters of an ounce of our light rum. There we go. A dash of bitters. And the recipe calls for 6 drops or 1 scant eighth of a teaspoon of absinthe. Now this stuff, I'm always amazed by it. Just a little, 1/8 of a teaspoon, and you get that licorice scent, the aroma coming off it very strongly. It is potent stuff. All right, so we're going to bring in our blender. And we're going to blend it. Okay, not a lot. Just says to do a quick 5 pulses. I think it was 5. And then we are going to put it in a glass. And guess what I did? I forgot my glass. So hang on a second. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. I remember my glass. I went and got it. So we are done with the blender. It says to slowly pour, maintaining the ice. And garnish is a cherry on a wooden oyster spoon. I don't have wooden oyster spoons. I have little tiny toothpicks. So that's it. That is the test pilot. What does it taste like? Well, like I said earlier, it's not sweet. It's interesting. So I'll just walk you through it. So, first thing I get with that little bit of absinthe, I get hit with the licorice flavor. It's there, it's very pronounced. Then I start to get some of the taste of the rum. I'm definitely getting the lime and the falernum coming through. I really can't describe the falernum until you try it. Just a hint of sweetness. Definitely alcohol forward. If you are a person who enjoys licorice, strong rum flavors, and a little and mixed with cloves and almonds, this is a good drink for you. It actually, as you progress it, the flavors kind of change. The dimensions change. I think as the ice melts a little bit and the water dilutes it, it refines it. I actually like it a little bit better than the first sip now. Yeah, that's weird. It kind of changes with each sip. So, the test pilot from Don Beach around 1941. First of our lost cocktails. We'll be doing this intermittently throughout the series, and I'll have to pick out what the next one's going to be. So until next time, take care. Who's the pretty girl? Huh? Who's a pretty girl? You wanted to be with me, right? Yes, you did. I know. I tell you what. Why don't you go away? Let me finish, okay? I'll pet you a little bit. That's a good girl. Hey, Cronky. How you doing, babe? You guys gotta leave me alone. I'll play with you a little bit, okay? Who's a pretty girl? Filming with dogs. Who's a pretty girl? Oh,